Hi, this is Anais from Tech Talk Cooperative, and right now we're doing a little bit of Tech Talk Cafe as well as we get into day 2 of our brown bag launch. We were scheduled to do this as a webinar series in Webinar Jam, but for 2 days in a row that resource has failed. More, I think, on the part of Google Hangouts than on the part of Webinar Jam. I don't find any issues with that particular resource. I want to be clear about that. The difficulty seems to be with Google Hangouts process. So I have regrouped. I have the Tech Talk Cafe Facebook page opening up in a little bit, and I will be so happy to share a pre-recorded video with you via screen sharing and getting through this as a kind of a tech mashup. So I'm going to take a sip of coffee. I'm going to welcome you and thank you for giving me a little bit of your time today and taking some time to watch this presentation. And it is going to be about an hour. So today I wanted to talk about the value of boot camps and the value of good coaching in boot camps. And I will talk about that in a little bit, but the circumstances of today and of this week have kind of taken me into what I will call an inspired direction. The frustration of needing to communicate and needing to use quite complicated technology is a challenge these days. And when it works beautifully. And when it doesn't work, it's a nightmare. And so you have to have the knowledge to be able to quickly come up with a plan B and a plan C in the event that your technology fails, or your website goes down, or as it happened this morning, I have an instant teleseminar set up to bring to you around this material today. And I'm going to pause the video because I was just reminded that there's something that I need to do. Back in a sec. Yes, so you need to have layers of planning, and in order to do that layered planning of how your technology is going to function for you, when things are good, and when things are bad, you really need to have that layering in place, and you need to understand all of your process relationships so that you can come through for yourself and, as my business coach loves to say, be unstoppable. Well, that quality of unstoppability is going to be different for everyone, but it is something that you need to develop. And I really feel it's important for particularly women in technology and learning technology to understand about the layering and the process relationships. And I think that's one of the things that I really can and do offer great coaching around, is getting into the depth of really not getting stuck when something isn't working. It's kind of a human habit to run into a bit of a wall or a challenge and just keep, digging in, butting our heads against that wall, when what the creative spark allows you to do and what a good sound knowledge base allows you to do is simply take a step to the right, take a step to the left, take a step back, look around, survey your situation, and see where the opening is for forward movement. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a description of what's happened for me in the last 2 days, working to bring this brown bag launch seminar to the online community, to women interested in technology who are in startups with their businesses. So my project partner in this, Deb Padilla, and I have worked for weeks. Every day. I've been working every day, all day. Deb has been joining in when she could. Working for weeks to set up all of the moving parts and align them in their correct order and timing. And we did this very, very well. And it was great because we were actually having fun doing it, and we learned a lot about each other in that process. So we got all of our pieces put together. I went through the agonizing process of setting up the one shopping cart and choosing the pay portal and setting up all those relationships, and then actually creating the online store for my line of digital products and creating space for joint venture partners and colleagues and friends to bring their digital and coaching and educational products into my store as another opportunity for them to have affiliates and to bring in income for things that they've worked very, very, very hard, very diligently, and very smartly to manifest. Then there were web pages that had to be redeveloped. Then there was thinking through the whole download process. If I'm going to offer you a boot camp today, and 2 boot camps actually, and I'm really excited about the offer, and then in 24 hours, you need to have that information in hand. It needs to be delivered to you. Well, what's the setup for that? What are all the background pieces? What's the research involved with that? What's the testing? What's your checklist? What are all the process steps that you've got to go through to make sure each segment of your technical pieces work together for your launch? So, of course, I've been taking copious notes, and this will become part of our VIP program training, because when you reach the VIP level and you've gone through the basic boot camp and you have your niche marketing prepared and you've identified your ideal client and you're really ready to move into income generation mode, then what are the technical pieces that you are going to need to support scaling up your business to that level? Some things can be very simple. I'm working with a couple of clients right now, and one of my clients, she's in Australia. Hi! She's developed a wonderful program, and it's not terribly complicated, but she was amazed. We are now into our 3rd month of planning and working together to manifest her program. And once we finish putting all of the pieces together and it's ready to go live and she's ready to offer it to the general public, there are other follow-up marketing pieces that will have to happen for all of these things to align with her, and she will begin to see the return on the investment that she's made creating this program. It's a wonderful program, by the way. So when I'm talking to you about 5 tech essentials and giving you a startup program so that you even have the language to have a conversation with me about what your technology needs are and how they intersect and connect with your business plan and your business model, then the 5 tech essentials startup packages for you, and that's a very nominal investment. And this week, because of the launch, we're offering that at I think 15% off. So it's somewhere around $160 odd, and it's a nice discount, and you get some other supportive freebies with that as well. But when it comes to the boot camp, with the weekly coaching, the group coaching calls, the ability to follow up with you online, to meet you online, right through my website, through a chat function, Google Hangouts when they're working, and they do work. I've had some fairly good experiences with Google Hangouts, and I'm not all that impressed with the technology yet, but it'll be okay in time. I have Skype. We can meet on Skype depending on where you are in the world. If you're not in Philadelphia, we're probably going to end up meeting on Skype. All right, so we're laying out all of that information, and Deb is working on the social media. That's her part of the project, and doing a fabulous job, and we have all of our pieces in place, and the webinar jam is all set and ready to go, and she and I both get on the webinar jam yesterday, and we couldn't hear each other. So with Skype and with other live streaming, you do have to identify your camera and your microphone, and you make sure that everyone on the call knows that they have to check their settings and give permissions. So let me put that out there to you right now. So last night, after not being able to do the webinar jam through the Google Hangouts in a way that Deb and I and other participants could hear each other, I had set up another workaround. I had set up an instant teleseminar call for yesterday, today, and tomorrow, because I know people are not going to take the time necessarily to jump on the webinar. Everybody's schedule is so very, very busy, and people want to listen when they can listen and when they'll be able to focus and pay attention. So I had set up the backup of I'm going to record the same information in an instant teleseminar, and then I'll be able to share it and replay it, and people who've missed the actual webinar jam will at least have the coaching information. They're not going to have the ability to get the special offers, which we're only offering during the launch this week and through the end of April, but they're going to get the coaching, which I think is really valuable. So yesterday, Deb and I, technically, we had to have a workaround ready and know what we were going to do if and when things didn't work. We had our plan in place, and we landed on our feet very quickly. Deb managed the social media piece on Facebook and the chat in the instant teleseminar. I recorded our conversation in Skype and turned that into a YouTube video so that we could share it with people who couldn't make the webinar yesterday, but who want the information. I would not be able to do that without knowing my tech. We would not have been able to pull this off. So it goes many layers deep. It's not just about your website, and it's not just about your social media and your domain hosting and your landing pages. If you're in this to win it and to really grow and scale up your business, you need to know how it works. Now, there are people who are going to start up a business and they're going to have hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it. They're going to be very well funded. They don't even have to worry about, am I going to quit my job? Am I not going to quit my job? They're at a different level. But when you're scaling up and you're starting up, and you don't have several $100,000 to move you forward, and you don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to spend on a Facebook campaign or a Google ad, how are you going to organize your forward motion in a way where you are doing the best that you can do, serving the most people that you can serve, and being smart about growing your business and doing well, so that in the future those options become easier for you and the doors to those kinds of resources may open for you. Your business may not need it. Your business may need it. I'm in tech. I have some ideas about some little software things that I would like to develop as I'm going through this. As I discovered with Tech Talk Cooperative, there was nobody doing what I was doing the way that I'm doing it. And, I'm an inventor. I will be going into that direction as the business grows and as we have more people on our team who are going to be able to do some of the things that I'm doing now, and I'm going to be able to step back a little bit to scale up the business to that next level. And I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun for me. It's very creative. But back to the layering, you have to know what to do. You have to know what resources you need, and you really want to know that like the back of your hand. You don't want to have to be scrambling for a Rolodex or calling a friend. Like, my cell phone died this morning. My cell phone died. I answered a phone call. A friend was coming over to pick up some flyers for a local event. I hung up the phone with her. Everything was great. And I went to answer the door, and when I came back to go look up another friend's phone number, my cell phone had died in 30 seconds. It was gone. I'm in the middle of doing this launch. I don't have time to, hustle up and run out and go figure out another cell phone and do all of that and make this happen today. So I had to sit down and say, okay, well, look, you planned that instant teleseminar. That was really good thinking. You're not going to be able to do that today. Now, I started about 2 hours ahead of the scheduled 1 o'clock time frame for the webinar jam, testing testing links, making sure things were set up properly in one shopping cart, communicating with my joint venture partner about how we're going to download her Bootcamp when we sell it, because I have my download worked out, but I don't know that that's the same system that she uses, and we need to have that coordinated, and we need to do that today. Okay. So now I have no cell phone. I have been on Webinar Jam and Google Hangouts, faffing about for about an hour, with no connectivity. There is major work going on in my apartment, and who knows what's happening with the internet wiring that comes into our building today. So connectivity is an issue. And now no cell phone. So I'm thinking, Anais, how are you going to deliver your content today? Well, fortunately, I have a screen desktop video account, and I thought about what would be some of the process steps, and I thought, well, we'll record it as desktop video, and I'm going to jump on my Skype account and open it up, so if anyone wants to message me on Skype, they can do that. And then I thought, well, this is really a good time for me to go for the group video call on Skype, because Webinar Jam isn't working for me, and I need to communicate with more than one person at a time. When I start group coaching on May 7th for the people who are coming into my boot camp, the new cycle, I have to have something that works. Now, by that time, I'll have a new cell phone, so instant teleseminar will also be an option. But, you have to think about all these things. So I opened up my Skype account, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to spring for it. I'm going to upgrade to the premium. I'm going to get the group calling. It'll be great. I jump into Skype online and have, I'm not having any other connectivity issues with any of my other resources. It's just Google and just Hangouts today. So I look, and today Skype had a 28-day free trial of group video, so of course I went for that. So now I have the option, when I start my group coaching next week, the 7th of May we start, if Hangouts fails me, if Rumble Chat fails me, if something else happens to my new cell phone, I at least will be able to Skype people who are in my boot camp. So I want to share this with you because this is part of the journey. Now, that's all the technical, superficial externals of the last couple of days in the journey. But what I want to do is I want to go deeper with you, and I'm going to put on my life coach hat for a couple of minutes. And I want to talk about where I was able to go inside myself in these last couple of days that have been very, very demanding, very challenging, with a really steep learning curve, because this is the first time I'm putting all of this together, and I'm someone who likes to play. I'm very creative, and I'm confident, not overconfident, but I'm confident that I can sort of work things out. That's where I can go inside. So when things were kind of unraveling and technology was not working for me today, I had a choice of how I was going to respond in the moment to circumstances as they were unfolding. This is part of being a business owner, and especially if you're to social consciousness and being a conscious business owner, this is part of how you manage and are in relationship with yourself and with the people that you're working with. So I was able to email Deb and say, hey Deb, there are so many things we're going to be able to explore after we're through with this series, but today I would not like to receive another email from you about any new ideas until we get through the launch, because we've got plenty of time. With the 80-20 rule, which is 20% of your effort yields you 80% of your results, you've got to be able to prioritize. And you've got to know what are the most important things you need to do now, this morning, this afternoon, tomorrow, this week and next week. And you have to have the flexibility to look and survey your landscape very quickly and reorganize your priorities very, very quickly. And it's about not being stuck. So the inner process work to keep your own internal space clear and coherent is important. Now, because I'm going to be introducing a VIP program tomorrow, today we're talking about boot camps, I want to touch a little bit on the 5 C's of my diamond coaching. And women know about the 4 C's of a good diamond. You know what? Color, cut, clarity, la la la. Well, for me, I want to share with you the 5 C's of coaching, diamond coaching. So we have clarity, we have consciousness, we have communication, we have creativity, and we have collaboration. And when you bring those first 4 C's together and you are really walking that and embodying clarity, clarity of consciousness, you're assuming responsibility for who you are and how you are in relationship in the world, then your communication is going to be very, very, very aligned and coherent. You're not going to be generating a lot of static in your life. And your relationships will reorganize themselves along those lines. And then when you've built and developed all of that, then you are really receptive and open to the wonderful dynamic interaction that happens with the creative spark. And then you're taking clarity, consciousness, communication, creative energy, and you're bringing it into collaboration where you begin to lead together with the people that you choose to work with. So I'm very excited about now that we have an affiliate program going on that's all set up and ready to go. And we're doing training about how to be an affiliate. You know, not everybody knows how to do that. You have to go search for that. Well, I can incorporate that into Tech Talk Cooperative as part of what we do for our members. And our members can become our affiliates. They're invested in membership, and we're investing back with them more training and helping them be successful. Okay, so we have that going on. And that is part of what I have to offer as a tech coach. Aside from, what's going to happen with your website and your SEO and, your domain name and your landing pages and all of those other little pieces that have to fit together, well, I have me and I have a team of people who are there to help. And then we're also able to help you with online project management. And then we're able to help you with a team of virtual assistants if you need backup for something that you're doing, a telesummit, a new project launch, whatever, we'll be there for you. But we will be there first for our member community. So that is another very good reason to become a member of Tech Talk Co-op. We share resources where we can. We are helping people who are transitioning from one living style to another, and helping you be efficient and effective and smart about how you run your business and how you work with a budget and how you manage your financial resources. So if you are someone who is taking care of a relative who needs care and you're home, or you have to be long periods of time where you're in a care situation, but you could do some work online. If you're the spouse of any of our veterans or military personnel, many of whom are really challenged right now with finding jobs and getting integrated back into our civilian society, online activity can be a place for you. And we're going to be moving forward into the summer into our pay it forward model, where we're going to be training people and then inviting them to come and work as part of our team. So that's what's going on with Bootcamp. So first we have 5 tech essentials, and you're able to purchase that this week on the launch for, I'm going to flash up the page in a minute from the one shopping cart. I think it's $160 something, but it's a good price. And then you do have the opportunity today to do a Bootcamp Bonanza combo where my bootcamp and Bridget's bootcamp are available to you. And that we're talking about 7 weeks of training with Bridget's program. And this is all about your niche marketing and identifying your ideal client. And she gives you a week of coaching one-on-one with her to make sure you're grounded in her training and that you can move forward. And then I'm bringing you 6 weeks of organized modules based on my 5 clusters of key tech essentials. And we go through them in order. Now, they're set up and they're delivered to you in order, but once again, if you want to move around and focus on what feels organically like the right thing for you to do at any given time, once your trial period is over, you get access to all the materials and then you can use them at will. And I do want to mention that my partner, my silent partner in this coaching training that I'm doing for technology is Real Time Board. And I am specifically working with right brain people, and Real Time Board is my partner in helping to make it easier for right brain learners, creative and nurturing people, tend to be right brain learners, to learn the technology in a way that feels more doable and more comfortable for you. Okay, so that's where we are today, and the bootcamp pricing for Bridget's bootcamp and my bootcamp today, and we're going to leave it up for replay for a couple of days, is $1,200 for both of those programs together. That's an amazing price. We both decided we were going to be really generous today, and we were going to make it easy for you to take your next step. So I've done coaching programs, and I've paid that much for one coaching program, and needed more coaching when I came out of that program. So we know that that's what's going on, and that's all fine. So I invite you to look at that. I invite you to visit the website, and I'm going to show you, we've got stuff floating all around the internet on the deals for the day. But as soon as I'm done with this, and this is recorded, I'm going to take you now into an interview that I did with Bridget Marsh. We had a lot of fun. And then I will show you where you will go to our one shopping cart to find the Bootcamp Bonanza offer and to take advantage of that today, tomorrow, by the end of this week, because we're going to take it down. I already changed pricing yesterday because 5 Tech Essentials was a Bootcamp special, and I offered it at an early bird discount, and then this morning I changed that price, so it's back up to $197. All right, I think that's all that I want to share with you right now. And I'm going to desktop share Bridget's and my conversation, and then I'm going to, while that's going on, I'm going to open up the Facebook page just in case anybody's actually out there and wanting to communicate. But this will all be available for you later today online, as well as a web page that takes you to all of our links. Now, most of this information is on our new affiliates opportunity page, but if you've been following Tech Talk at all, you know that I offered my first masterclass in January. And we did one in January, and we did one in February, and last month we did one with Ann Kawasaki, and the month before that we did with Linda Lang, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the April masterclass. So you're watching this very messy launch process that we're going through. And there's one more point I want to make. I think it's really clear, and I'm looking at clarity and consciousness and communication. I want to make a distinction between being unstoppable and being perfect. And thinking that unstoppable looks like nothing ever goes wrong, nobody's hair is ever blowing in the wind, and it doesn't get messy, and there aren't all kinds of energies flying around that can distract you from your forward motion. So I'm being unstoppable, but I am not making a claim to perfection. And because of who I am as an artist, and because of who I am with my whole perspective on net diversity, there are already a lot of really buttoned up people online selling coaching programs. And then there are the buttoned up ones, and then the ones that are dressed in their Las Vegas get-ups and this shiny satin dress, whatever. That's not my style. So I'm just sharing that with you because if you're looking at my work and my coaching, thinking that it's going to look like all the other stuff you've seen that all looks alike, by the way, you're not going to find that here. All right, so I will be back in a second, and you'll be looking at the conversation that Bridget Marsh and I had together. Hello, Bridget Marsh in Auckland, New Zealand. This is Anais, and I'm awfully glad. We're trying very hard to figure out a way to connect today, so let's see what we can do. We have about 20, 25 minutes, and we'll see if my computer will cooperate and we can see and hear some version of each other. I'll be very happy. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your being intrepid, and you were planning to be unplugged today. So thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure. Yes, I was totally unplugged yesterday, as you know, no power for more than 8 hours, but really I came off lightly. There are people all around my country who have no roofs on their houses, and whose cars were completely flooded, those houses were completely flooded. So yeah, technology willing, here we go. It's just such a pleasure to be here.
Thanks. So I want to start out by inviting you to share with our listeners and viewers how you came to start creating What Matters, what you're doing in that wonderful business of really helping people to identify and really hone their niche, and go ahead and share that story with us. I'm dying to hear it.
Oh, thank you. I love telling my story. and I love telling it because I have had a fantastic life. I'm extraordinarily privileged to have, I can count on the fingers of both hands the number of days when really the work I've been doing in the world hasn't been something that I absolutely love and am passionate about. And so I've led sailing holidays in the Mediterranean and the Caribbean. I've sailed my yacht across the Atlantic. I spent 13 years living that life. And then I returned to my country in New Zealand, and my darling mother said to me, please stay here. So I decided to stay, and I took a job as producer of a thing called Theatre Sports, and I went to a performance. It was the first performance ever in New Zealand. I went to the performance and I loved it so much. It was so vibrant and exciting, and then they said at the end of it, we need a producer for the show. So I went backstage and I said, don't look any further, you found her, it's me. They said, oh no, we can't just hire you now, we have to interview you. So they interviewed me. Anyway, long story short, I ended up meeting someone who wanted to had a new bank in New Zealand and wanted that bank to get a national profile. So I dreamed up a concept, I dreamed up an idea, and I wrote a sponsorship application for $1.25 million for this bank. Yeah.
Love it.
1989, not long after the 1987 stock market crash. And it included running the very first international theatre sports competition and inviting teams from Canada and from the US and from England and Australia to come to New Zealand and play. Anyway, this is the largest art sponsorship, in New Zealand ever. And people said to me, how did you do that? And I said, I imagined it. And then I said, okay, what do we need to make it happen? I would take on the management role of a very small little school. After the 87 crash, lots of our arts organisations had folded, and I'm passionate about the arts. I'm passionate about dance and acting and the visual arts. Anyway, they asked if I would take on this role. And I said, yes, I'd be interested in doing that. And they said, how long will you stay? I said, about a year. And they looked at me and they said, you'll have to give it longer than that, Bridget. Anyway, I ended up as head of that school for 13 years. And we wrote a degree, the very first degree in performing arts in New Zealand. We wrote it across all the pages of art, of acting, dance, choreography, directing, writing, film and television production, all of those majors. And people said, you can't do that. And I said, why? They said, well, nobody's ever done it before. I said, yeah, but we want to, don't we? And so we wrote that degree. It got approved with no requirements, have to change, no requirements, and I went on to write a number of other qualifications in that field.
I love it. I love it. We are kindred spirits in so many ways, and even paralleling things like, now I haven't done as much sailing as you, and I don't have my own yacht, but one summer in the 90s, I had decided that if I ruled out flying because I knew I'm too right-brained, and if I got in an airplane and I managed to get up in the air, it wasn't going to end well. It wouldn't end well. So I thought, well, what will give me the feeling of flying I might be a little bit safer if I get into trouble. And I thought, why sailing? Of course, I'm going to learn how to sail. So at that time I was living in San Diego, and I went to the yacht club, and I joined the yacht club, and I planned a week's vacation, and I said, look, I'm going out, you're going to teach, I hired a captain, you're going to teach me everything, and I'm going to take my 2 exams while we're out on the boat, and in a week's vacation I learned how to sail and had qualified to bareboat charter, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think so much of how we create what matters in our lives and what matters in our businesses is that we just are really clear about what we want, and we don't set up doubt or fear barriers or can't do barriers along the way. And if we don't set them up, there's a very good chance that the people that we'll attract who will work and play with us are not going to be setting them up either. Has that been your experience?
I think that's parallel to that, Anais, but people still go, how do we do that?
Right.
And the thing about how is it's actually the wrong question to ask until you're really clear about exactly what you want to do. And once you're clear about that, then the how becomes much more obvious, and you really only need to know what the next step is. You don't have to know the whole plan.
You don't have to know it all. And one of the things that I talk to people about in the work that I do is take the next step. And stay open and stay present to where you are, and the next best thing will show up exactly as you need it. So I love it that you are approaching micro businesses and entrepreneurs to find a way to move through the development and the sustainability of their businesses using this approach. And I'm making a lot of assumptions here, but we don't have a lot of time, so I want to ask you a question, because one of the things that we're doing is we're bundling our digital education and our coaching resources to create a fabulous offer for people. So I would love it if you would share, because I was talking to, it was you who said to me, who so confidently said, my genius is. I can't tell you how happy that made me, because so many people are afraid to say that. I'm not, you're not, but a lot of people are. So, your genius is in your boot camp. Just share with us how you go from one organic, natural step to the next, and how you teach people to do that.
Thank you. Yeah, so just to backtrack just a wee bit, when I left the school, I looked around and I went, I have spent my whole life helping people be the very best they can be in the moment that they are, whether they were learning to sail, whether they were learning to be actors, whether they were the teachers in my program or anything. I just helped them be the best they could be. And I knew that this was something that the world really needed, and so that's when I decided to take my genius, if you like, my experience, and start working with business owners, and helping them understand what their genius is. So that's what I do with my clients in my bootcamp. the templates are all there, the worksheets are all there, but I have the ability to read between the lines, if you like, and really understand a person and what it is that they're trying to do, and help them find exactly the right words that they need to speak to their ideal customer, to speak to their ideal client, and around all of that, I mean, that's the core of any business, is actually understanding what it is the pain of your ideal customer. What is the thing that's stopping them? We talked earlier about not having fear, but everybody does have fear, but it's how do you take the next step through it? It's identifying customers' fear, pain, that is holding them stuck and making it difficult for them to actually buy what you're offering. So if you can then find the emotional benefit, and it's the emotional benefit that we need to discover, that people will then go, oh, I can take that next step, I can buy that product, I can pick up that offering. And that's what I help my clients do, is to really uncover their own backstory, so that they're clear about their purpose and their why, and that helps them keep going when going gets hard. And it also helps them identify who their ideal client is, because our ideal client is really a reflection of us and our own journey. So I work with the backstory, I work very much with values, because our values are the embodiment of what we want to bring into the world. Yeah. So I work with values, and I work with the backstory, and I help people uncover what really matters to them, and then we can find the language, but what will really matter to their ideal customer. And that's my genius.
That is a genius, and I'm so excited that we have kind of taken an organic step together to see, how can we help people even more? If you bring what you have and I bring what I have, my goodness, how can we even get people in a terrific position to manifest what it is that they really are wanting to create? Now, I wanted to share something with you.
Okay.
I'm in a space right now. I had a meeting this morning with another young woman, and we were going off to launch another whole project together here in Philadelphia, which I'm terribly excited about. But what I said to her was, where I am right now, I'm in the creator space. I'm in the collaborative space, and I want to co-create and collaborate, and I really being very careful about eliminating as much competitive energy from my sphere as I can, unless it's healthy. If it's competitive energy you're gonna give me a little nudge and I'm gonna give you a little nudge to do your best and be your best, okay. But if it's competitive energy coming from fear or a sense of lack or a doubt about self-worth, that a lot of those emotions actually fuel competition in a very unhealthy way.
Very unhealthy.
Very unhealthy. So what I love about the Bootcamp Bonanza I'm describing to people, you're going to get a Bootcamp Bonanza if you take up the offer on the webinar event today, which is that you will get Bridget's Bootcamp training, which will help you do exactly what she described, so that you're crystal clear about what you want to create. When you're crystal clear, the collaboration comes from places you can't even imagine. It just shows up and says, hi, okay, cool. And what I love about what I'm doing is, for most businesses these days, there is a technical component at some point, whether it's email or it's landing pages or it's your website, and all of those bits need to fit together. And what I find, Bridget, is that the people who I'm best suited to work with and who are happy working with me are artistic, they're right-brained, they think holographically, and they don't even like to reach into their holodyne, their dream, They're afraid to muck it up. They're afraid to make a mistake. They don't want to dishonor it by pulling it apart in bits and pieces that don't work. Rather than do that, they will stop themselves from going any further. Do you agree?
Yes, yes. And they often find themselves working on what I call the well-being continuum. And that's the continuum that's in my mind includes everything from my clients who are midwives to my clients who are massage therapists to my clients who are guided adventure walk trainers, and all the way down to the other end to my clients who are fitness trainers and things like that. And clients who are working on the financial well-being aspect. So I have clients, and my very favorite clients are really on that continuum. They're what I call expert technicians. They've become so good at what they do, and they really want to share that with a wider group of people, with more customers and more clients. But because they're expert in their field, they're not expert in the things that you can do and they can help them with, and the things that I can help them with. And so they get to that point and they go, I don't know what to do, and they freeze in the headlights, just as you were describing.
Right, right. And I think that's really a powerful place to recognize when we're given the opportunity to create a circle and who we want to choose to be in our circle, and then making our commitment to action to step forward and claim that and say, I'm going to own reaching out to create the circle of support that I need, the circle of training to move forward so that this wonderful dream that I have actually gets to have a life. So that's your boot camp. My boot camp is 6 weeks of going through each component of technological information you need to know. And it's a do-it-yourself process, and this is why. If at the end of 6 weeks and 2 weeks of practice, when you have a beautiful overview and you have hands-on, real-time live experience finding your way through with some coaching, you will know how much you want to do yourself, how much you want to have done for you, but you will know the value. You will not be entering in conversations where you don't have enough knowledge to be able to make really good choices for your business. And that, I think, is also important, that we help people become empowered in our individual ways with our expertise to make really good choices for manifesting their dream business. I don't know what else to say. That's what I'm up to. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. I can't tell you. I've been doing a happy dance all week because, first of all, I'm thrilled to meet you. And when I read your background, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to, one of us is going to have to come over and see the other one, because we have a lot in common, and you have this whole other area of, really, I will absolutely use your word, genius, which it just thrills me no end. So here's the Bootcamp Bonanza that Bridget and I are offering to you today on this second day of our Webinar Jam live events, where I'm really kicking off what we're doing with Tech Talk Cooperative and inviting people to come and play with me who are going to be great playmates in the sandbox. Bridget has very kindly agreed to give a special offer of her boot camp. And I am bringing in a special offer of my boot camp. Now, Bridget, your program, as I recall, and you correct me if I'm wrong, is a 6 weeks commitment, correct? Starting with 6 weeks commitment.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And my, yeah, go ahead.
Do it time. Sorry.
That's
they
all right.
can do it in their own time.
Right.
They don't have, sometimes people don't do something because they think, I couldn't do that in 6 weeks. I don't have 6 weeks right now. So don't let the idea of 6 weeks put you off. I just have to say, you can start when you're ready, and you can do it in your own time. If you want to do it, you could do it in 6 days. But the reason I suggest 6 weeks, with the 7th week when you have a call with me and we pull a whole lot of information together, is that the brain works best when we work it a little bit and then give it some time to think about and process what we've been giving it to think about, and then come back to the work. And time again, I do have to say this, Anais, and people listening, I really hope that you hear this. In week 3 or 4, sometimes people going through the program, they get, this isn't working, it's not coming clear, and then it's an iterative process. Suddenly in week 5 or 6, after a call with me, and that's when you get to have a really special one-on-one call with me, Skype or whatever technology works for you, suddenly they get the clarity and they go, oh, it's all coming together. Oh, this is wonderful. And the relief is extraordinary. So the reason I suggest 6 weeks is the brain works best when it's given a task and then given a breathing space, and then you come back to the task. Iterative, yeah.
It is, and we know that when we're learning, our brain is making new associations with synapses and neurons. It's literally growing and expanding and making all kinds of new connections, and it needs rest and integration time. So we're on the same track because I do 6 weeks. It's optional for you. You start when you like, you stop when you like. And I have weekly group coaching calls for my boot camp. And then we cover what's happening in your process, because the process is just as important to track as the tech steps. And that's, yeah, that's part of the life coaching experience that I bring to this, because I've done life coaching, and right now what I'm doing is letting the life coaching inform the tech coaching. So people are getting a little bit of both when they work with me. They're getting the right brained approach so they can feel safe in how they do their explorations. And the material for me is organized in audio, video, text, and written word, and then as much interaction as we can do. So I've set up an interactive learning space online as well as with text to help guide you through your process steps. So people who are watching this, this is really, so for Bridget's program, which is 6 weeks plus the rest, plus her one-on-one coaching, and 6 weeks with me with weekly group coaching calls, plus 2 weeks of do it, practice, let's find out, right? Don't be scared. Let's just find out, right? We're going to use free trials. We're going to use free accounts. We're going to create dummy accounts, and you're going to be able to play without worrying about making a mess. And by the time you come out of the 8 weeks, you're going to go, I can have a conversation with my web developer now. I know what needs to happen if you want to build a website. So there we go. So for the 2 boot camps together, if you are going to make your commitment to take action, because one of the things I say to people is, you put it off and you put it off, and you're frustrated and you're overwhelmed and you put it off. How much is that costing you? It costs a lot not to take action. So if you're taking action today, you're going to get my boot camp and Bridget's boot camp with another sweet bonus besides. And you can have both programs for $1,200. Now I want you to know, and if you're watching, and I'm all the time looking at what's going on out there and who's doing what and what the costs are, that is a terrific value for you. And we're even making it easier for you to do that, because I believe, take a step, make a commitment, make an investment, get a return. Feel that you're getting a return. Now, Bridget and I met in another coaching program, and that was a 6-month program. And within 6 months of completing that program, I had a client that contracted me for online project management that absolutely reimbursed me completely for the cost of my coaching program. And that's where we want you to go. So $1,200, 3 payments, plus some other little wonderful things that are going on here. And not only that, but you're going to have fun. I believe that having fun and celebrating is part of the discovery process. So there we are. Bridget, would you like to add anything? Oh, Bridget has some bonuses.
Yes.
Talk about your bonuses. I don't want to leave that out.
I'd love to. And whilst you were talking, Anais, about people at the end of your program, they'll be able to go and talk to their web developer about what the website needs to look like and do. And if they do my program at the same time, they'll have the language that they need already.
Exactly.
So they will be able to, because it's all very well having the technical aspects of the website, but if the language isn't there, then it's not going to work. So, because the language, words are so important. And so I really encourage people to recognize that doing these two programs together is such a powerful opportunity. And my bonus is that I'm going to throw in also another $99 ebook that I have written in conjunction with a colleague of mine called Creating a Successful and Profitable Sales Process. So that, once you've got your words, then you put all of those words into your sales process, and again, that helps you with your website, and it helps you with your emails, and It helps you with the telephone conversations, the enrollment conversation, everything. It's mapped out there, literally 19 chapters of a sales process. Whoever thought that sales was such a complex thing? But there are all of these steps that we need to do, including how to ask for a referral and how to make a video testimonial. So it's a complete book, and so I'm throwing it in as a bonus.
Thank you.
Yay!
Yay! I'm telling you, this is so exciting. And the other thing I love about what you do is, I was saying, I don't know, conversation yesterday, whatever. It's like, if you can't be clear about who needs you, why they need you, and what you're going to bring to them so that they grow and release to the next level, grow and release, you can't effectively market because you don't know who you're talking to.
Exactly. We need very specific words to talk to about our specific, and a lot of people are very concerned about speaking to a very narrow ideal customer or client, and I've done massive research in America and all around the world that there is evidence that clearly says 4 times faster, up to 4 times faster, by knowing and marketing to your ideal customer.
True.
So it's a very, very powerful process, and we've put it together like this just for you, people on this webinar. I'm so grateful to you, Anais, for including me.
Oh, I'm
thrilled. I think it's going to be so helpful for everybody.
Thank you so much, Bridget. We're just about on our dime for time, and thank you. Yesterday, Bridget and I were scheduled to do this, but there was a massive cyclone in Auckland, and she mentioned she didn't have any power for today. And then we had earlier technical difficulties, and we just decided we were going to be unstoppable today. So I'm like, woohoo to you, and thank you so much. And we're going to conclude before my machine runs out of memory, and I will send you everything that you need to become part of our community of Tech Talk. We are a community of networking technical solutions for all kinds of people with all kinds of businesses. So namaste to you. Thank you very much. And I look forward to being in close communication over the next couple of weeks. I so appreciate your being here and jumping in with us. I really am so very grateful. Thank you, Bridget.
And
Okay.
So blessings and much gratitude. And I look forward to working with everybody because I love it. It brings. I could do it all day, and at the end of the day, I feel more energized than I was at the beginning. So thank you.
Oh,
okay.
Great. Ta. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks again. So this is the screenshot of our special Bootcamp Bonanza offer. It is in our One Shopping Cart store, and I will make sure that you have the link to get to the special offer, and it's going to be good through the next couple of days of the launch. But I just wanted you to see what we're offering today, where you're really going to get 2 terrific boot camps for the price of 1. So this is the screenshot of our special Bootcamp Bonanza offer. It is in our One Shopping Cart store, and I will make sure that you have the link to get to the special offer, and it's going to be good through the next couple of days of the launch. But I just wanted you to see what we're offering today, where you're really going to get 2 terrific boot camps for the price of 1. And this is the rest of our digital products that we're offering in our Tech Talk Cooperative One Shopping Cart. This is our digital products page, and you can see these are some of the offers that we've made. The SEO secret is available to you as a freebie if you contact us during the launch process. And tomorrow is our last day of the launch. We will be doing our VIP coaching, and we have an early bird price on the VIP coaching still, and you can get that for $847. That's a substantial savings on this program. And I'll be talking about what is part of the program tomorrow when we're on our next presentation with you. But this is information, and you'll find this page eventually, but it would be nice to take advantage of our Bootcamp Bonanza offer for the next couple of days, where you're going to get the Discover Your Niche Bootcamp and the Bootcamp Bonanza for Tech Talk startups, and that's going to get both of these for $1,200. So that's a pretty good deal. Okay. Hi, Anna E. Salas from Tech Talk Cooperative. Oh gosh, spring is here, and the tasks are starting to just pile up in terms of garden and outside and beekeeping and running my business, and it's very exciting. And the sunshine alone is just enough to keep me going and going and going and going. So I want to invite you to my brown bag launch webinar series in just a couple of weeks, and I have an enticement for you. Actually, I have a couple of them. I have generated this very, very quick little report to help you think about joint venture and affiliate relationships well in advance of your ever getting there, because my goodness, there's a ton of things you have to do to be really ready to take that step, and I'd like to help you know what they are, and also to have you know how Tech Talk Cooperative can be part of guiding you through that process. So sign up, join us, and get your free report. I've also done this as an expanded version in a little ebook, and I'll tell you more about that at another time. Okay, take care. Bye.